As a listener, even from when I was 11 to now at 41, I can learn things with my favorite artists because they're curious.
Hit you with the Kevin Hart. Damn.
Exactly, I know. Damn. I'm old. I got gray. I'm not hiding it. I'm not Kevin Hart. I like Kevin Hart dies his shit. I tell him all the time he should stop. I'm not doing that. You did, yes, no.
Now it's time to bring out the guests. First, we have New York's Knicks star Julius Randle. Make some noise. Next up, we have New York native, Grammy Award-winning rapper, songwriter, actor, and producer. Everybody make some noise for Method Man.
It's Italian Stallion.
What up, what up, what up?
Yeah. All right.
Yo, DJ, hold up. I said the same, I said, what up, New York? And it was like, cool. Meth comes out here, what up? And it's like, ah! Bet, okay, bet. I see what today's gonna be like. Go ahead, DJ.
Last but not least, we have a special guest for you all. Rapper, songwriter, actor, Brooklyn native. Everybody make some noise for Joey Badass.
Good to see you guys, man. Pleasure to be in New York.
I always tell people, the second proudest person in the world is a New Yorker. The first proudest is someone from Brooklyn. I got Brooklyn in the building tonight, what's up? You know what I'm saying? We ain't from New York, we from Brooklyn, respectfully. It's fact.
Yeah, by the way, that's a real thing, right? Like if you're from Brooklyn, you say I'm from Brooklyn. I'm not. Does every other borough say New York?
Say New York.
But Brooklyn people say, like you from Flatbush, you say Brooklyn, right?
Absolutely.
Why is that?
Because it's the greatest place on planet Earth, B. You know what I'm saying? No offense to my Shaolin brother right here.
Since we're on the topic of New York, Julius is obviously bringing finally, and I can say that, I'm not a New Yorker, I'm not a Knicks fan.
Relax.
Chill.
But finally bringing pride back to the Garden. How does that feel to be in New York?
I don't know. Playing in the city, playing in the Garden is different, man. It's an energy that's just not matched anywhere else. So, yeah, it's dope. I love it.
That's dope. I mean, I've always wanted to do this. I'm going to need the crowd participation for this. So I'm going to start it. You guys finish it off. METHOD.
Man.
I knew you was going to do that.
What was the thing that led you to rhyming? Was it intuition? Was it?
Could have hung with the jocks. Could have hung with some of the dudes that are strung out to this day. I chose a different path, and I was blessed enough to have friends that had the same interests that I had, and we were blessed enough to have someone that made their own music, that lived in proximity to us. The rest is history, man. Wu-Tang forever like a
Wu-Tang forever.
Joey, coming from Brooklyn, obviously great MCs have come from here. What got you started in hip-hop or your love to rhyme and become a rapper?
I gotta give the credit to my parents, you know what I'm saying, because first of all, my parents are from the Caribbean. My mom's a St. Lucian, my pops is Jamaican. But, you know, I was raised in Brooklyn, New York, and my mom was a super avid hip-hop fan. And, you know, once I got put on the B.I.G., it was pretty much like consumed me, you know what I'm saying? Like I was 2 years old, literally being hypnotized by the Hypnotized video.
People don't understand, it's one thing to write rhymes, it's another thing to structure a song, like the rhyme, the verse, the bridge, the hook, like all that stuff. Who taught you all of that stuff, like the structure
So
of a
shout out
song?
to my older cousin Richie. He taught me, I think I was like probably 6, 7 years old at the time, but he taught me how to count bars.
And where'd you get that, Meth? Who taught you how to like
I
take a
played
rhyme and
trombo-
make it a song?
I played trombone.
Oh, so you learned.
I knew what 4 bars were.
Yeah.
And 4, 4, 4, 4, 16.
Yes.
But if you pay attention to the early Wu-Tang stuff, there weren't any 16-bar verses. It was whatever it was
Yeah, y'all
until you
just
ended.
rhymed.
Right,
Y'all-
there it is.
Just went on and on.
On and on and
A
on and
Wu-Tang
on and
song
on.
might go on forever.
I tell you.
Now, where'd that come from? Was that just y'all didn't know, or it's like we're gonna come in here and do whatever with the?
I think a little of both. I think a little of both. Sometimes you're feeling yourself so much you want to get off the record.
I heard a story, and I'd love to hear from you, Meth, about Cream. Tell us about that hook, Cash Rules Every. Like, did you write? The story I heard was you walked in the studio, they had the beat, and you was like, okay, I got the hook, and walked in and just started spitting it. Was that true, or how did that work?
The actual hook, me and my boy Raider Ruckus used to play this game where we would make acronyms. Is that the correct thing?
Yeah, that's exactly what it's called.
Acronyms, so, like projects. People relying on just enough cash to survive. Cream, cash rules everything around me. Okay, so I got that part, and believe it or not, the dollar bill, y'all, came from that old record, which I was listening to at Weebay's house. My boy Hassan Johnson, who plays Weebay on The Wire. He was just a little guy then. I was at his house, and his father had that record, and I remembered that, and I was like, Cream, dollar bill, y'all. And it just all came together, and yeah, it was pretty quick.
Wow, that's
Pretty quick.
Yo, Julius, we were talking about like constructing a song. I saw you recently say that basketball is easy.
Right.
But if you know the game of basketball and you watch it or you play it, it actually is pretty simple, but that's not to everybody. When did you realize that, and how did you learn that, like, really learn the game? Who was it that taught you, okay, here's how the game actually works?
You're right. It's really not that simple. It's like y'all was talking about the bars, and I'm like, what the hell are y'all talking about? Like, I got no clue. I didn't know it was that complicated. But the game is the same way, right? Like, we're professional athletes, we're professional basketball players. Of course, we've been doing it our whole life. If you work at something your whole life, it looks a certain way. I'm super curious, and I'm always asking why. Like, why does something work? Why? Like a little kid, basically. I got a 2-year-old and I got a 6-year-old. They always ask me the same, why, Dad? Why can't I do this? Whatever it is. I've learned it from many people. I played with the great Kobe Bryant. Give it up for him,
Shout
please.
out to Kobe Bryant. Watching over us.
Yeah, absolutely. He taught me how to work. He taught me how to study. I learned from my peers. I learned from Bron. Shout out to having us here. But, I've learned from many different people, and I'm just curious.
Got it. Meth, and for you and Joey, we'll start with you, Meth. But being as an artist, how do you keep getting better? And do you think you're getting better as an artist, either as you're writing, as you're performing, as you're acting, whatever, as an artist? And then what inspires you to get better? What is the inspiration behind it?
Well, to answer the first part, I'm better than most of these.
Speak on it.
That's a fact.
Speak on it.
That's a fact.
Speak on it.
And the second half was what? How do I, what inspires me?
What keeps you inspired to keep doing it and getting better?
After that answer, I don't think the second question matters much.
What really inspires me is just seeing all these new movements, some of the new artists that are coming out, just a lot of this black power that has been arisen or awoken in the past 5 to 6 years. I'm loving that. And the fact that people are taking mental health very serious now. I think that's dope. I mean, we draw inspiration from everything that's around us, and just being around greatness.
And what has been your favorite 1, 2, or 3 new things that you saw in hip hop? Like when you talked about movements, what have been the ones you've seen that you've loved and inspired you?
Joey Badass won an Oscar.
Speak on it.
Speak on it, Joey.
An Oscar.
And Joey, what about you? As an artist, what keeps you, how do you know you're getting better?
For me, I would say is about uncharted territory. I think I always want to push myself to explore a new field or push a new boundary. You know what I'm saying? Like, what subject matter haven't I touched on, or you know what I'm saying? What haven't I expressed about myself?
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because what Julius talked about as a basketball player, because the artists that are curious are always learning and understanding new things. So as a consumer, as a listener, even from when I was 11 to now at 41, I can learn things with my favorite artists because they're curious.
Hit you with the Kevin Hart. Damn.
Exactly, I know. I'm old. I got great. I'm not hiding it. I'm not Kevin Hart. I like Kevin Hart dies and shit. I tell him all the time he should stop. I'm not doing that. You did, yes, no. But does curiosity drive some of your artistry too, as you said about if you're going to expose the listeners to new things, you got to be constantly learning new things too.
Oh, absolutely. What pushes my pen a lot of the time is new knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm an avid reader. I like to read. I like to explore new things. And that serves as a point of inspiration because, you know, I'll read a chapter right now on the way to the studio, and I feel like my inspiration bucket is full. I got something to pull from, you know what I mean?
I want to bring it back home to the Mecca, New York, Shaolin, Brooklyn. What is it about this city, and has it made you better artists? Has it made you a better basketball player? I'm talking about like that grit and their energy, and if the answer is no, that's fine as well. But do you feel that?
It's different, obviously, because I'm not from here, but I've been here the past 4 years. And Mav, I was telling you that backstage. I was like, I feel like this is like home, right? You know, I go to Dallas in the off season, but now that I'm back, it's just like a certain level of energy, drive, like focus. Like I can run on 3 hours of sleep and wake up and be like, let's go. Like, let's get to it. You know what I mean? And
You're still young, just wait.
That's true. That's true. That's true. But I'm gonna enjoy it while I can. I'm gonna enjoy it while I can. But yeah, man, it's just a certain energy in the city that every day, like, it just keep me going for real.
For me, it's the fact that hip hop was born here, and New York is synonymous with we started that. We did it first, motherfucker. There it is.
A cover of you, Busta, and 50 for Men's Health just went viral.
Give it up, give it up. That's a big deal for us. Give it up.
You guys are on there looking damn good. Your beard has dyed perfectly. This shit Bada, baby. Looking good. But in the article, what you talked about earlier, you talk about depression and dealing with it and how that affected you. I never knew you were going through depression. What made you want to talk about that, and how was that going through it?
Well, like I said, I give credit to a lot of these youngsters nowadays who are embracing getting help for mental health issues and things of that nature. So it made me more comfortable to tell my story. And it also opened my eyes to the fact that I am suffering from PTSD from so many years of growing up in the situations that I grew up in. I've always had issues with wearing my heart on my sleeve. I'm still learning to deal with it. But the fact that I feel comfortable enough to say that now means that we have taken leaps and bounds towards a better world.
Totally.
Seriously. Us as men are taught we're not supposed to cry, we're not supposed to show emotions, we're not supposed to do a lot of things, which is true. But this is when we're out in the world, saying the battlefield, where we're working to fight and scrape for survival, for food, to bring home to the family. But when we're with our families, we should be at ease enough that we can relax enough that we can come to terms with what happened that day, come to terms with what's going to happen tomorrow.
Love that.
And hope, you know, this is a motto that I like to say. I hope today is better than your yesterday and your tomorrow even better, because that's all we have as people, tomorrow being better, all right? Never count yourself out. It's always a better tomorrow.
Love that.
Inspiration.
Love that. Joey, I know you've also been outspoken about mental health. Why has that been an important topic for you to tackle and be outwardly spoken about?
Where I'm at today is I'm in a place where, you know, self-improvement is so key to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm so focused on, like he said, becoming a better version of myself tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? The future is yesterday. We already late. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I'm just trying to catch up every day and just trying to be my best version, trying to show up the best that I can.
You know, one of our companies, Uninterrupted, one of our slogans is being more than an athlete. Meth, when did you realize you could be not only an actor, but a real actor? You know, and I say that as with all the credit I can give you. You're not a rapper that acts, you're a real actor.
Honestly, I think it's when I got the part. Keep it simple. When I saw that people trust me with their scripts, trust me with these characters, that's really when I knew.
And Meth, do you still love getting in the booth and rapping too today?
Yeah, I still love hip hop.
You
Like
love
I
it.
said, I'm better than these.
We are very clear on that, and we agree.
Yes, thank you, sir.
In my top 5, any genre, is you and Mary's song.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Who got married with that song? Like, who walked out? Nobody? Bunch of single motherfuckers in there. Huh? All right, great.
It's New York. We don't get married out here. B.
My question for you, Matt, did you know instantly that was a super hit?
When it was done, yes. And it scared the shit out of me.
Why?
I think I have a problem with this sexy shit. You know what I mean? Because I don't do it to be sexy. I do it for the money. I'm going to keep it a buck. Yo. But I don't want it to get misconstrued like I don't enjoy the attention, because I do. I just wish that people can focus on more than what the shell is and what's happening on the inside. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, women don't like to be objectified, correct? And men, we ain't really got a problem with it.
As Joey and Meth were talking about going into projects, going into songs, Julius, it's August, so you got September, October, so you got like a month and a half before the season starts. Knicks had a great season last year. Went to the second round, beat Cleveland, upset Cleveland in the first round. Went to the second.
Y'all ain't had nothing for Jimmy Butler, though. I'm a little, no, I'm playing.
Hey, by the way.
I'm playing.
Hey, by the way, Julius, I don't know if you peeped, when y'all won your first round playoff, they shut Broadway down.
That's New York, dog.
So
That's New York.
exactly, that's New York. So you know they expect more.
Yeah.
What can we expect? What are you feeling for the season this year?
Expectations. Huh?
Yes, of course. Of course. You're going into a new project, man. It's time. It's getting close.
Yeah. I mean, I take it day by day. That's the only way I can do it. It's always going to be unfinished, right? So, like you said, we got to the second round. We got aspirations for obviously bigger, better things. We want to win a championship at the end of the day. That's what it was.
Got it.
That's what it is.
Okay. Sports Center tonight. Julius Randle said the Knicks are winning the championship. I heard it here in the shop, baby. I heard it. Did y'all hear it? The Knicks winning the championship, baby.
A lot of times when you guys are elevated, we're typically the only ones in the room that look like us. How do all you guys navigate that space, own that space, and create more room for people that look like you to elevate in that space?
Great question. Go ahead, Math.
Oh, so you mean how we act around white people? I'm pretty much the same. It's just the thing that grinds my gears is the assumption that I may do something out of order because of who I am or where I come from. That should never be an assumption about me. I'm pretty much myself when I walk into these rooms because I believe that the name itself got me in the room and I shouldn't have to change for anybody, right?
I would say that too. Like, I think at the end of the day, no matter what room I'm in, whether I'm on the court, whether whoever I'm meeting with, whatever it is, I know who I am at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So for me, it's internal that I don't care where it's at, who I'm with. You know, I know who I am, what I bring to the table, and I'm comfortable with that.
Love that. Joey?
I mean, yeah, I'll say the same. You know, I walk into every room as myself, and when I find myself in spaces where I don't see people who look like me, I fight for representation. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, you know, me and Meth, we just did a piece. We was at like a suit spot. We was trying on suits, and the dude brought out some, like, you know, he brought out a little lookbook,
Catalog, a little catalog
and I'm
of
like,
suits.
yo, where the black faces in this joint? Because you trying to sell us suits, but I can't even see an example of how I look on my skin. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Joey Badass, yo, come on, man. And that kind of consciousness, that kind of consciousness you can be born with, but it's taught. All that's important because if you don't put it in their faces, they will repeat this. or say it didn't happen or it didn't exist.
Fact.
I'm sorry, I exist. Do you exist, brother?
Absolutely.
Do you exist, brother?
Absolutely.
Everybody in this room exists. And our story matters just as much as anybody else's.
With that, we're a wrap. I want to thank
Salute.
Mev, Joey, Julius.
Lexus.
The New York Knicks are winning the championship this year.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. I want to thank Lexus, and most importantly, all of you in the audience. Thank you for coming and being here with us.